Strong delusion. Video 1. City that is in the midst of the river. And for this cause God shall send them strong delusion, that they should believe a lie, that they all might be damned who believe not the truth, but had pleasure in unrighteousness. 2 Thessalonians 2:11-12. Today, almost everyone but the ruling classes believe the strong delusion. Even those who have seen through portions of the veil still believe most of the delusion. This series of videos will lift the veil for those who wish to see. The first video will compare 3 verses in the book of Joshua about the city in the midst of the river to geographical reality. It will create a major geographical and temporal problem for those who believe in the strong delusion. It will make the Old Testament come alive for those willing to remove the veil. Sihon, king of the Amorites, who dwelt in Heshbon, and ruled from Aroer, which is upon the bank of the river Arnon, and from the middle of the river, and from Gilead, even unto the river Jabbok, which is the border of the children of Ammon. Joshua 12:2. From Aroer, that is upon the bank of the river Arnon, and the city that is in the midst of the river, and all the plain of Medeba unto Dibon. Joshua 13:9. And their coast was from Aroer, that is on the bank of the river Arnon, and the city that is in the midst of the river, and all the plain by Medeba. Joshua 13:16. Today, scholars call the river Arnon the Wadi Mujib in the modern country of Jordan, to the east of the modern country called Israel. The red line on this map shows the approximate location of the wadi. Photo of the wadi. No sign of a city in its midst. The wadi inside the wadi. No room for a city. No room for a city. No room for a city. The Arno River in Italy has the same name as the Arnon River in the Bible, except for the final letter N. It has a famous city in its midst called the Ponte Vecchio, or the Old Bridge. Millions of tourists visit this old bridge, or the city in the midst of the river, every year. Arnon in Hebrew means a roaring stream. Strong's Hebrew Concordance 769. Strong's Hebrew Concordance translates Hebrew words from the Bible into English. Viewers can access this for free online. Does this look like a roaring stream? Does this look like a roaring stream? How about this? The Arno River ripping apart the city in its midst. The Arno River roaring down its course in Florence. The aftermath of the roaring stream. A roaring stream in the Arno. The bridge first appears in a document of 996. After being destroyed by a flood in 1117, it was reconstructed in stone, but swept away again in 1333, save 2 of its central piers, as noted by Giovanni Villani in his Nuova Cronica. It was rebuilt in 1345. Moving the Arnon from Jordan to Italy creates not just a geographical problem, but a temporal one of over 2,000 years. Scholars tell us the Exodus and the book of Joshua occurred around 1200 to 1500 BC. A difference of more than 2,000 years exists between those dates and 996 AD, when people built the real city in the midst of the river. When will the delusion fade? When the sun rises in the west and sets in the east, then you shall return to me, my sun and stars. Daenerys Targaryen, Game of Thrones, Season 1, Episode 10. Does the sun rise in the east, or does the sun rise in the west? Today, all people, educated and unwashed, accept this orientation. North on the top, south on the bottom, west on the left, east on the right, Israel and Egypt on the bottom right, sun rises in the east. Tabla Rogeriana by Muhammad al-Idrisi. 1,000 years ago, all people, educated and unwashed, believed the sun rose in the west. All people accepted this map by Muhammad Ali Idrisi as the most prominent and the best map available. Notice that Italy kicks Sicily upside down. This map has the south on the top. Notice also that it has many more islands in the Mediterranean and in the Atlantic off the coast of France and Spain than we have today. It has a large island off the boot of Italy. Sailors use this map. I think they would have noticed if that island didn't exist. 1,000 years ago, poets and historians wrote their tales from the orientation of the tabula rogeriana. When the Bible, or Ovid, or Herodotus speak of the East, they mean today's West. The Norman King Roger II of the House of Hauteville, or Altavilla, or High City, became King of Sicily in 1130. He lived from 1095 to 1154. Roger II created the Kingdom of Sicily, which included much of southern Italy. It lasted from his time to 1816. The Hauteville family plays a huge role in the history of the world. Kingdom of Sicily. The Kingdom of Sicily is shown in green on this map. A very large kingdom covering basically half of modern Italy. The Promised Land, Europe. Raul Mauro map of 1450. About 3 centuries after the tabula rogeriana, Raul Mauro made this map with the same reversed north-south orientation. A larger version. You can see Italy still upside down, kicking Sicily in a rovesciata. Torah in the 12th and 13th centuries. The videos will prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the entire Torah, from Abraham to Deuteronomy through the book of Joshua, occurred in the 12th and 13th centuries. Not a single event in the Torah or the rest of the Bible occurred in the modern countries of Israel, Jordan, or Egypt. Instead, the events in the Torah and the rest of the Bible occurred in Europe and the Americas. Future videos. The videos will first address geography, then move to actual dates and people. The next video will show the Po River in Italy once had a name with the same meaning as the Jordan, which in Hebrew means the descender. The third video will identify the Amorites. The fourth video will identify the Amalek, or Amalekites. Next, the series will move back in time to Genesis 11 and Ur of the Chaldees. Videos will identify the historical Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob living in the 12th and 13th centuries and playing major roles in the development of modern European thought. The video will show that Abraham played a foundational role in an important Catholic religious order. The video will show where in Spain Abraham buried Sarah and the place where the tomb exists to this day, protected by the Catholic Church. The video will show that Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob had central roles in the development of the Kabbalah. A video will show where Abraham pitched his tent with Hai to the east and Bethel to the west. A video will identify the rebellion narratives in the Book of Numbers with well-known events in 13th century French history. A video will identify Barcelona as the real Jerusalem. This series will have at least 6 videos on Milcah, the mother of Rebecca, a person scholars have ignored. The videos on Milcah will link the Torah to Egyptian and Greek myths and history. The videos on Milcah will show the real location of Egypt and much more. The videos will explain the multiple meanings of Milcah's name beyond the commonly accepted meaning. All this merely in Genesis. After Genesis, the videos will cover much of the Old Testament. A future video will identify King David as an important medieval king. A future video will identify Queen Jezebel as an important medieval queen and as a Catholic saint. A video will explain the real meaning of the name Joshua. The same video will identify Joshua as a famous Roman written about by Plutarch. Identifying Joshua as a famous Roman will lead to identifying Moses as an even more famous Roman. about whom history knows less than about the Roman Joshua. A video will link Moses to French royalty. Thank you for watching. Permission to copy and translate. The author permits any human being to copy and rebroadcast this video in whole or in part. The author permits any human being to translate this video into any language. Unveiling Strong Delusion, Video 2, Jordan, the Descender. In Hebrew, the word Jordan or Yarden means the descender. Strong's Hebrew Concordance 3383. The Po River once had the name Eridanus, meaning the descender. The name comes from the myth of the descent of Phaeton when he crashed the chariot of the sun. And Phaeton, flames ravaging his auburn hair, falls headlong down a streaming trail of light, as sometimes through the cloudless vault of night a star, though never falling, seems to fall. Eridanus receives him, far from home, in his wide waters half a world away, and bathes his burning face. Ovid, Metamorphosis, Book 2, translated by A.D. Melville. Fall of Phaeton by Johann Rottenheimer, around 1604. Joseph Heinz il Vecchio, Il caduto di Phaetone, The Fall of Phaeton. Hebrew has no vowels in its writing system. The lack of vowels can lead to confusion. Confusion can lead to delusion. Notice the English word Jordan has the same consonantal sounds as the Hebrew word Yarden, R-D-N. Consonantal sounds can lead to the meaning of words more easily than vowels. The word Eridanus contains the consonants RDN. Jordan and Yarden contain the consonants RDN. Eridanus may also mean border of Dan, or something similar. The word Eri in Hebrew means watchful. Strong's Hebrew Concordance 6179. Watchful in the sense of on guard or guarding. The second part of Danus shows the tribe of Dan with the Romanized us ending. The watchful on the border of Dan, or the watchers of Dan. Jacob described Dan. Dan shall be a serpent by the way, an adder in the path, that biteth the horse heels, so that his rider shall fall backward. Genesis 49:17. Because of this verse, the primary symbol of Dan became a serpent. The secondary symbol of Dan became a horse rearing, as if from a serpent. Alfa Romeo cars from Torino, Italy, and the serpent of Dan. The Ferrari horse bucking from a serpent. Enzo Ferrari started his racing career and company in Modena, Italy, just south of the Po River in the Emilia-Romagna region. Enrico Dandolo, Doge or King of Venice. The Dandolo family ruled Venice for many generations. Enrico Dandolo played a prominent role in the Fourth Crusade, which we will see in later videos. Enrico meaning king, not a proper name. Names such as Henry, Heinrich, and Enrico relate to the words of kingship such as Khan, Reich, or Rex. King Henry VIII, for example, means King VIII, or the eighth king in a line. Later video will show where in northern Italy Jacob traveled to find his sister wives, Rachel and Leah. It will show another deep connection to northern Italy and an important Italian family. Po River in northern Italy. The Po River runs from northwest Italy in today's orientation southeast to the Adriatic Sea. The Po River flows for over 650 kilometers or over 400 miles. It ends in a delta near Venice. The Po River Valley has the Alps as its northern border and the Apennines as its southern border. The Apennine Mountains separate the Po Valley from the Arno River. The Po River Valley in the northwest. Po River Valley near Torino. Po River near Torino. The Po River and its ancient name provide the first direct connection between the Bible and Greek and Roman myths. Many more connections will follow. The word Po can mean river, as in Mesopotamia, or between the rivers. Similarly, the Potomac River in Washington, D.C. also means river. The Potomac, too, once had a different name. The letters P and B can sound much the same in everyday speech. Bull or bow means cow in Irish Gaelic. The cow will play an important role in future videos. Thank you for watching. The next video will identify the Amorites, whose territory bordered the Arno and who fought the Israelites. As the videos progress, it will show the Amorites played a large role in European and world history. Permission to copy and translate. The author permits any human being to copy and rebroadcast this video, in whole or in part. The author permits any human being to translate this video into any language. Strong Delusion, Video 3, The Amorites. From thence they removed, and pitched on the other side of Arnon, which is in the wilderness that cometh out of the coasts of the Amorites. For Arnon is the border of Moab, between Moab and the Amorites. Numbers 21:13. For the Arnon is the border of Moab, between Moab and the Amorites. Moab to the north of the Arno, and the Amorites south of the Arno to at least Naples or Napoli. Strong's Hebrew 567 calls the Amorites from the King James Bible the Amori. Strong's Hebrew 567 refers to the Amorites or Amori as perhaps mountain dwellers, a Canaanite tribe. The vague meaning of the name Amorites reflects our lack of knowledge of the historical events described in the Bible. We will see this happen deliberately. Many know the truth and work hard daily to maintain the delusion. Amore means love in Italian. As in English, it can refer to romantic love or to sexual desires. The Amorites refers to ritual religious sexual practices. The Amorites mean the followers of Dionysus or Bacchus, the god of wine, fertility, and religious sexual ecstasy. The videos will return to Dionysus when they reach Milcah, the mother of Rebecca. Amorosi, Italy, near Naples. Amorosi is a commune, municipality, in the province of Benevento, in the Italian region Campania, located about 45 kilometers northeast of Naples and about 30 kilometers northwest of Benevento. As of 21 December 2004, it had a population of 2,931 and an area of 11 kilometers squared. Amorosi to Naples, 55 kilometers or 34 miles. Naples to Pompeii, 25 kilometers or 15 miles. Pompeii to Herculaneum, 17 kilometers or 10 miles. The tale of Sodom and Gomorrah happened at Pompeii and Herculaneum in the 12th century AD, or about 800 years ago. The Hebrew word Gomorrah should translate as Amora, not Gomorrah. Although most English readers of the Bible think of the cities as Sodom and Gomorrah, the Hebrew word lacks the G sound at the beginning. Transcribed into English letters, the word reads as Amora. See Strong's Hebrew Concordance 6017. The first letter, Ayin, has no G sound. Everett Fox, in the Shocking Bibles, The Five Books of Moses, uses Amora throughout. The art from Pompeii and Herculaneum shows the Amorites got their names from their sexual behavior, not their ethnicity. They practiced the rites of Bacchus or Dionysus. The Amorites worshipped the god of wine called Bacchus by the Romans and Dionysus by the Greeks. Scholars tell us Bacchus or Dionysus appears as the last god in legends and appears in few early sources. Legends say Zeus fathered Dionysus with a mortal woman, Semele, the daughter of Cadmus or Thebes. When Hera or Juno, the wife of Zeus, found out, she tricked Semele into demanding Zeus reveal his true form. When Zeus revealed his form, Semele died in a blaze of light. Zeus saved the unborn Dionysus and carried him to term in his thigh. One version of the legend says after the birth of Dionysus, Zeus gave the child to Hermes, or Mercury, to protect. Mercury protected Dionysus from Hera's wrath by giving him to King Athamas and his wife Ino to raise. Athamas and Ino raised Dionysus disguised as a girl to protect him or her from Hera's wrath. An effeminate or androgynous Dionysus. The Amorites or followers of Bacchus will appear in future videos. They became covenant allies of Abraham and a major religious order. The next video will identify the Amalekites as a famous family or tribe in medieval history. Thank you for watching. Permission to copy and translate. The author permits any human being to copy and rebroadcast this video in whole or in part. The author permits any human being to translate this video into any language. Unveiling Strong Delusion, Video 4, The Amalek. For he said, because the Lord has sworn that the Lord will have war with Amalek from generation to generation. Exodus 17:16. The Amali, one of the most famous families or tribes in European history, has the exact same name as the Amalek. One of the most famous kings of the Amali tribe, Theodoric the Great, or Flavius Theodoricus, ruled Italy in what history calls the 5th and 6th centuries AD. Theodoric the Great, bronze statue by Peter Vischer the Elder, located in the Hofkirche, Innsbruck, Austria. The Bible refers to the Amali family and to Emilia-Romagna when it talks of the Amalek. Theodoric the Great had a reputation as a defender of the Jews. Historians tell us Theodoric the Great ruled Italy and the Ostrogoth kingdom from about 493 until his death in 526. Ravenna, Italy served as the capital of the Ostrogoth kingdom from 493 until 553. Ravenna, Italy on the map. Ravenna, the raven. The word Ravenna sounds like the English word raven. The raven connects Ravenna to the Celts and Bran the Blessed. Bran or Bran means raven in Celtic. Many more Celtic connections will appear. The word rabbi could refer to the raven. Scholars tell us the word rabbi means my master and derives from the root rav, meaning master. Rav contains much of the word raven. After Theodoric the Great's death, his 10-year-old grandson Athalaric became emperor, but Athalaric's mother, Theodoric's daughter Amalathunta, ruled as regent in Athalaric's stead. Amalathunta, daughter of Theodoric. Amalathunta, as in Amalek. Amalathunta remained in power in Italy all her life. She became a queen when her son Athalaric died in 534. Soon after she became queen, disaffected Goths imprisoned her on an island in a lake in Tuscany. She died murdered in her bath around 535, or so historians tell us. Part of the strong delusion involves historical duplicates, which make the historical timeline seem much longer than its true length. History has at least one set of duplicates of Theodoric the Great and Amalathunta. Theodoric the Great, also known as Flavius Theodoricus, ruled the Ostrogothic kingdom from about 493 to 526. His duplicate, Theodosius the Great, also known as Flavius Theodosius, ruled the Eastern Roman Empire from 379 to 392 and the entire empire from 392 to 395. After the death of her father Theodoric the Great, Amalasuntha ruled as regent for her minor son. After the death of her father Theodosius the Great, Galla Placida ruled as regent for her minor son. The same story with almost identical names for Theodoric and Theodosius. Mausoleum in Ravenna for Galla Placida. Notice the brick-in windows of the mausoleum extend to the ground. Evidence of flooding. Nobody builds windows to the ground on a house. The next video will identify 2 more biblical sites in Italy. The videos then will turn to Ur, followed by Terah's journey with his family from Ur to Haran. Thank you for watching. Permission to copy and translate. The author permits any human being to copy and rebroadcast this video in whole or in part. The author permits any human being to translate this video into any language. Unveiling Strong Delusion, Video 5, Pisa and Mount Pisgah in Italy. Yahweh commanded Moses to climb to the top of Mount Pisgah. Get thee up into the top of Pisgah, and lift up thine eyes westward and northward and southward and eastward, and behold it with thine eyes, for thou shalt not go over this Jordan. Deuteronomy 3:27. Pis means mountain. Italy has over 50 mountains with the word Pis or Piso before the name of the mountain. Example, Pis Fora. Switzerland has over 100 mountains with the word Pis before the name of the mountain. Example, Pis Bernina. Pis Fora. Pis Bernina. The city of Pisa, Italy, lies at the mouth of the Arno River in the Ligurian Sea, the Mediterranean Sea, in the area where the northeast Italy meets southwest France. Pisa sounds like Pisgah with an added G sound. As we saw with Gomorrah, English translators added a G sound to Amorah. The Hebrew word Pisgah does have the letter Gimel for the G consonant. Strong's Hebrew Concordance 6449. Pisa, Italy. Pisa on the map. Google Maps of Pisa. Pisgah, Mountain of the Moon. Pisgah might mean Mountain of the Moon. Future videos will discuss the sound ah with regard to the moon. Cinque Terre, Camp Darby, and Moses. Mount Pisgah may lie in the Cinque Terre region of Italy. The United States has a military base called Camp Darby near Pisa, in a short distance south of Cinque Terre. The U.S. military has played a large role in the strong delusion. Thank you for watching. The next video will identify the real Ur of the Chaldees. Permission to copy and translate. The author permits any human being to copy and rebroadcast this video in whole or in part. The author permits any human being to translate this video into any language.